entertainment powerhouse Disney looks toward reviving Lucasfilm Games, the precursor to legendary game studio LucasArts, in some capacity, as spotted by Pokemon. A number of new job listings for various roles at Lucasfilm Games have appeared on the Disney website in recent weeks, including positions for producers, art directors, and marketing coordinators. Disney shut down all internal development at LucasArts, which operated under the Lucasfilm Games banner back in the 90s in April 2013, canceling a number of titles, including 2 Star Wars games, and laying off a reported 150 employees. The job listings, however, reveal new Lucasfilm hires will once again be working on interactive products across all digital platforms, including mobile, home consoles, PC and Mac, and augmented and virtual reality devices. They also THATLUCASFILM Game staff will be charged with handling notable franchises like Star Wars. Curiously, the art director posting specifically mentions multiple licensed video games, and will require potential hires to work with external and internals to build the next great set of Star Wars and Lucasfilm heritage products. Although it's hard to draw any concrete conclusions from the job postings, it's an interesting development given Disney's recent assertions that its future lies in licensing, rather than publishing or development. It's news that might also pique the interest of fans dissatisfied with the company's handling of certain licenses. With Disney's relationship with Star Wars Battlefront publisher having come under scrutiny in recent months, head on over to the Disney Jobs website to check out the Lucasfilm Games listings for yourself. The 2019 Game Developers Conference will feature an exhibition called GDCDADICATEDTOGAMES that uses alternative control schemes and interactions. Gamasutra will be talking to the developers of each of the games that have been selected for the showcase. Type Escape, Cross of Courtesies, 2 players, 2 chairs, action mode style. Then custom escape a devious trap by working together to hit buttons around the room. Gamasutra spoke with the development team behind TD Escape, Cross of Courtesies to talk about the challenges that come from creating such a physically exhausting game, as well as the work that goes into making the controller durable enough to survive a daring escape. Faber. So my name's Jingle Arias Faber and I am in charge of the tech aspects of the game, Wi-Fi, buttons, and stuff. Funny stuff. I was involved in many modding projects, long before I started my studies. Always found the world of video games to be incredible. Still amazed today. Provost. My name is Louis Provost, known as Lou. I was responsible for RBOTH the game design, and the conception of the universe of Type Escape. I have always been a huge fan of video games and board games. Mostly, exploring universes and lore is my jam. As a game designer, I have worked on several projects developing game mechanics, stories, characters, and environments with game artists. I mainly take my inspirations from what forged me as a child, like science fiction and fantasy RPGs. I try to bring the feeling of epic adventure to each of my projects. Gossett. Hello, my name is Ian Gossett, and I am one of the 5 game designers who worked on this project. I always loved to create games and manipulate the rules and mechanisms of existing games, so I naturally chose the path of game design. On Type Escape, my role was to make sure that the player had many different experiences playing our game, and making sure that they were fun. We had several good times working on this game, and it was a good experience in game design. In conclusion, I am happy to work on this project. Builder, my name's Sebastian Builder. Please just call me Seb. And I was responsible for the development of the software part of the game. Exploring games in alternative ways is a soft spot I am well hard. Recently, I had the occasion to own internship, in which I had to develop a game in order to gamify an enterprise. Games can be anywhere and anything. If you put enough imagination on that bullet into it. Xion, hello. My name is Pauline Xion, also known as Pooh, and I am the artist and illustrator on the project. As far as I can remember, I have always loved playing video games and drawing, so becoming a game artist was a predictable thing to happen. My favorite thing is character design. I have had some professional experiences. I did concept art for an indie game, and worked a bit for Ankama Games as a character designer. I was very happy to have the opportunity to join a team and to work with them. Bautry, hi. My name is Gary Bautry. I am in charge of the team and the organization of all of our travels, partnerships, etc. I am the one who oversees all the business. Actually, basically, we are all in the middle of our third year of game studies at Supinfo Game Rubric in France. We are all studying game design, except for Xion, who joined the game art school this very year. We all had to make a board game in first year, a Zelda-like game in second year, and are currently focused on making mobile games this year. Got it? In this game, two players are acting as adventurers. They are locked up in a room and tied up back to back on two chairs. A screen gives them instructions about pushing buttons. Xion. But those buttons are scattered around the room. They will have to work together to move in order to push them, generally with their feet, or even their head. Builder, we mainly used Unity to develop our game. Since it's what we mostly use in our studies, we developed it in C.Key, and used tools like script to object to create events, the different tasks typed of pushing buttons. Recently, we developed a tool allowing us to create events even more quickly and directly in the game instead of through the editor. The goal was to be able to effectively create events adapted to different environments and button setups. Bautry, you can simply see it as a level editor, allowing us to register multiple party setups. It is also a way to make it adaptable to commercialization for private people. Got it? We used pretty simple materials for our first physical prototype. BUTDONSTLINKED to a card with the cables, translating electric signals into keyboard inputs that WRINTBRPRETED by the game. Xion. For the rest, we personalized chairs so that they were comfortable and secure, and finally added decorations to set up the mood. Faber, with GD coming up, and also in the continuity of an imaginable commercialization, the goal is to replace cables with wireless devices in order to avoid all constraints from the cables. Faber, as part of our video game studies, we had to create an alternative controller game. Throughout our reflections, we started to focus on displacement constraints. Bautry, we wanted to encourage players to use parts of their bodies in order to achieve tasks that do not usually use these limbs. Provost, this is how we came up with the idea to tie up a person to a chair, and then to add another player in order to create situations such as the ones you can see in movies like Indiana Jones. Builder, we immediately treat be simply holding hands, while the other members of the team simulated the buttons by placing their hands around us. Very quickly, that concept appeared to be really promising. Faber, the main challenges were to find adequate equipment to play without breaking anything. In fact, the game can be really turbulent. Got it? We had to tinker to create comfortable, solid, and protected chairs. That really was the hard part. But also solid and movable buttons. And finally, to find a place where we could install our prototype. Shion, the hard part was creating an agreeable experience, making players want to reach the end of the game, and in the best case scenario, to play another one. Provost, that worked mainly by setting a short time limit for a PARTYTO, make the experience as comfortable and secure as possible. Creating tasks that were quickly and easily understandable was also important so the players will not waste too much time trying to understand what to do. Better, quite simply, it was an easy and efficient way to add a single defeat condition that was understandable in a second.